This
And so
conference
let's get
will
started.
now be recorded.
Thanks, Barb, for pressing the record button and getting us recorded. As some of you know, we post these up on our YouTube page and provide a link for it at a couple of different places, or our YouTube channel, and provide a link for it at a couple of places. So if people want to go back and review, because some of the information that has been passed out has been fantastic. So again, thanks for being here. Hang in there. We're kind of starting to chug along. Some changes are going on, so that's part of the discussion today. So Ed, I'm going to get out of the way since now you can hear, and I know we heard your phone ring before, so your microphone was working a few minutes ago. So what do you got from a chamber report?
I just want to say good morning. Thanks to the partners. It's great to see you guys again. It's a great place to share things. I mean, the coffee shop is not conducive to that, so maybe this is the next best thing. Monday is going to be the big day, as we all know. We're really supporting businesses that are reopening. It's all about that safety plan, you know. And a difficult piece to that was the plexiglass sneeze shield. Like, how do you get one? Do you order it online? Do you go to where? Where do you go? So we approached St. Peter Lumber Company yesterday and asked if they could build an affordable one, you know, something easy to assemble, just something, like I say, super easy, super effective. And they said that indeed they could. Chad's answer to that was, Ed, you mean the one like the ones like we have on our checkout counters? And so I went over and took a look at those, and I said, exactly, that'd be perfect. The chamber wants one because we want to reopen. But so St. Peter Lumber can create these things for $36.50. I went online, just kind of price things, and nobody is even close to that low of a price. So they'll even throw in a free spray bottle over cleaners. So it's super easy. Just give St. Peter Lumber a call if you want to get involved in that and get one of these sneeze shields. Like I say, the chamber will open. The board of directors has decided that we're going to create a safety plan and open the building again on Monday with some pretty strict limitations. And like I say, following that plan, we used a template with deed that we got from deed. And I think of that about 10 points of sanitation, identifying somebody who might have COVID. We don't have any, we have one employee, one staff member, that's me right now. So no need to go through all the worker things. Although, you know, if we had identified a specialized volunteer to help me at some point, that person would have to be trained, and that's all part of that plan. The chamber is happy to work with any business that wants to create one of these plans. Every business is a little bit different. Of course, the chamber is a business club for organizations and everybody out there. So we don't sell a lot of things. We sell a lot of chamber bucks, though, and have been. So we have plans on how we handle those. It's all part of that plan. Virtual happy hour is back today, 4:30 p.m. I think this is our 7th week of virtual happy hour. 4:30 p.m. again, we sent out the link, and we'd be happy to make that link more widely available for anybody. We posted on Facebook one week, even to really reach out to people. But the attendance has not been great at that. That's okay. It's just kind of fun to check in with everyone and socialize versus talk business, but it kind of doubles as that networking and getting answers to questions that might otherwise be difficult to find. It's a way into a conversation that you don't know what question to ask, and if you have the right people in the room, they can kind of coax that out of you, you know, give you the answer that you're looking for without you knowing the question to ask. Spingo, Cheesy Bingo, Cheesy Spingo, Spingo is back for week 6. No purchase necessary. The cards are available from the restaurants, delis, shops. That's what we're supporting with Spingo. And they're also available, no purchase necessary, at the Chamber of Commerce building under the planter outside. You don't even have to talk to Ed Lee. You can just show up, the door is locked, and grab a couple of Spingo cards. So lots of cool things going on. We're optimistic about Monday. I want to say this publicly. I personally support Governor Walz 100%. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's listened to everybody. His dials make all the sense in the world. So that's enough editorializing by Ed Lee. Todd, take it from there.
All right, thanks, Ed. We appreciate the partnership with the chamber. We will definitely send, if we get calls about how to get that plan going, we'll send them your way. So with that, governor's order is a good segue. Russ, you're going to talk a little bit about some bullet points related to the governor's order.
Yeah, and John, feel free to jump in also. I think probably we all have something in common. We all may have been watching the governor on Wednesday night. And as Ed said, the retail businesses can reopen after midnight on Monday, but it is key to have that preparedness plan. You need to adopt that. You need to implement that. You need to communicate that with all of your employees. You need to post that. You're taking on a big responsibility to keep your employees and your customers safe. So please take that very, very seriously. The other part of that governor's order is they put in some protections for the employees. So if you are not operating in a safe manner, if you don't have a plan, if you don't follow the plan and your employees provide a report, you are not able to retaliate. If they question the safety, again, you're not able to retaliate against that employee. So there are some protections that have been put in to protect the employees. You will be limited to 50% of your maximum occupancy. And so I just took one example, a downtown store. The showroom is 21 feet by 54 feet, which would be a total of 1,134 square feet. And you need to have 60 square feet of floor space. And that has to include your customers and your employees. So in that case, you divide 1,134 by 60 and you get 18.9. So you would be limited to 18 souls in your place of business. You should also list, if you have safety protocols, at the entry. And you may want to list your maximum capacity at the entry so that your customers know. You may want to provide masks for your employees. You may want to provide masks for your customers. Chelsea in the chat asked if the plexiglass shield is required, and I've seen nothing that requires it, but I would suggest it's probably being adopted as best practices. And again, your employees may question why you don't have one when they see next door that they have one. But it's very important to put that and follow the rules. You should maintain the appropriate social distancing from your patrons and within your employees. So you may need to move a workstation, or if you have two registers, you may have to move one of them a little further apart. These rules do not apply to the businesses that have had remained open. So this is only to the ones that would be opening as of the governor's order on Monday. You should probably enhance your sanitation and your cleaning. If you have sick employees, tell them to stay home. You may want to implement temperatures, taking the temperatures of the employees as they come to work. And if there's questions, send them home. Always err on the side of caution. So again, the responsibility is yours to help keep your employees and your customers safe. You should also have perhaps hand washing stations for your employees and your customers, maybe little squirt bottles of sanitizer. And then the bars, restaurants, salons, barbers, fitness centers, and massage parlors and such still remain closed as per governor's order. He'd mentioned that they're not as predictable. And of course, in some of those, there's probably much more greater chance of having some contamination. But the governor is working with the trade organization, various chambers, to try to determine how those businesses can safely open. And I would expect if that happens, that they probably also will likely be limited to a percentage of their normal occupancy. So we'll see how that plays out. I guess I'd answer any questions that anyone might have at this time. John, do you have anything that you want to add?
John, if you want to chime in, and then we'll wait for questions after that point.
Sure. No, I think Russ covered it really well. He hit all my notes here. Yeah, with the 50% occupancy and that signage and other safety precautions that could be made. Uh, there is the need for that from just a health standpoint. But having that in place is going to help bring customers in the door. There's a lot of people that I've spoken to that are anxious about going out and getting back to a point of normal. So the more that you can present, your businesses as taking the situation seriously, the more that will spread and spread in a good way these days. So that people are able to come and visit, and it'll make a world of difference just to get people's confidence up.
All
Thanks,
right.
John.
Any other questions for Russ or John? Or if you have something in the chat box, we're going to hang around, of course, till the end. You can certainly add something to the chat box. We did have one in there from Chelsea. I think Russ answered that one. I don't see any other chats at the time. John, anything else you want to hit on, whether it relates to this, that, or the other thing?
Just a couple of really brief things. So I'm going to drop something into the chat right now. It's a blog post that includes a list of sources where you can buy personal protective equipment. And this list has been vetted by public partners in the area. So Greater Mankato Growth, as part of the Regional Economic Development Alliance, has been working, in Blue Earth County and Nicollet County, and getting best practices for how to source PPE, whether that's the different tactics in ordering. Usually smaller is better these days to get your order in a timely fashion. Staying on top of it, knowing what your burn rate is for usage, and making sure that you're ordering from multiple sources. So all those little hints are in that blog post, as well as a list of different companies that you can order from, contact information, websites, emails, phone numbers. So I encourage you to take a look at that and see, and please share. This is something that people are looking for right now. I did a little exercise. I don't know if anyone else has, about just Googling N95 masks. Now that's the Cadillac of masks, and those are really focused on the need is with healthcare and dental offices, assisted living facilities in some cases. If you Google N95 mask, you can't find I'm getting an echo here. Oh, there it goes. All right. If you Google N95 masks, you're not going to get a hit. Google, to me, in my search, it says it's all been removed because of price gouging or inauthentic websites. So there seems to be a challenge in ordering this equipment in many cases. If you got a supplier that's working well for you, please keep in touch with them and make sure you're getting those orders in as much as possible. So my other update, real briefly, Patrick wasn't able to join us on the call today, but he did pass along some highlights on the legislative side of things. So it is the last week of session, and there is new money for deed emergency loans and businesses and grant programs that's being discussed. We don't know if that's going to come to fruition yet, but it's very likely that there's going to be a special session, looking at June 12th. So that's especially going to happen if the governor extends the emergency order. So nothing has been appropriated at the state level yet, but it is being discussed at length. And hopefully, there's, if necessary, there's a special session to get that piece all wrapped up in June. That's all I got.
All right, John, thank you very much. Any questions for John before we move on to the local COVID program? Any questions for John? John, you and Patrick have been great to be with us. We really appreciate all the wonderful data you've been providing, and the blogs have been just like really fantastic. So we appreciate that. Last call, any questions for John before we move on to the next topic? All right, Russ, you're up. Microloan program update.
Yeah, the activity has slowed down. We're going to distribute one today. We'll have 45 loans for a total of $405,332 that we've put out on the street, trying to help one business at a time. So the council had previously added birth centers and medical offices to the list of eligible business sectors. On Monday evening, they took another action and amended it further to add automotive repair. The council, as they had said, they will be try to be flexible and reasonable, and if there was needs to expand it, they would certainly consider that. These are the loans that are up to $10,000 at 0%. Repayments $100 a month when that starts in June of 2021. I'm just going to run through the rest of the agenda. I see it's me, Todd, and then we'll ask questions at the end. Okay. Minnesota River Valley Transit dial-a-ride is free up to August. So you can access Minnesota River Valley Transit, and they will get you where you need to go. And again, if you're a dial-a-ride customer, it won't cost you anything. We've mentioned repeatedly in the past meetings, there is assistance for veterans that are experiencing difficulty from the COVID situation. They should call Nathan Tisch, who is the Nicollet County Veteran Service Officer. I've never met the gentleman. I've talked to him on the phone a number of times, but he seems as pleasant as can be, and I know he certainly wants to help his clientele, the veterans. So I'll give you just the general number that I have for Nicollet County. It's 934-6800, and that'll get you the main switchboard, and they will get you where you need to go. And maybe Marie's putting something in the chat because I got the wrong number. But Nicollet County Veteran Service Officer Nathan Tisch, if you're a veteran and you need some assistance. And then Nicollet County also did deferred the real estate taxes that would be due today, and you can defer those until July, but there is some limitations on which businesses would be eligible, so you should contact Jackie Copet at Nicollet County. So that's really what we had. Just wanted to mention one other thing that may be coming up. Todd and I and Ed have been talking, and it's likely that that Todd and I will recommend to the Economic Development Authority that we put some dollars towards some promotional activities once everybody's open, trying to be mindful that we don't want to be driving you over your capacity. So it will not be a card like we had in the Discover 169 where they go get it signed by a bunch of different businesses, but we'll have something else hopefully formulated soon that will be very, very easy to administer and really doesn't take any type of effort from the business community. Everything would be put on the backs of your patrons to participate. So we'll be hopefully taking that to the Economic Development Authority, and they would then be expected and hopefully make a recommendation to the City Council, and we could get that rolled out as businesses start to reopen. So that's really what we had planned for today. I will note we're joined by Jessica Byer. She's the CEO of Greater Mankato Growth. And so welcome, it's nice to see your face. And again, we're so blessed to have the services available to us through our Regional Economic Development Alliance with Eagle Lake, Mankato, North Mankato, Lake Crystal, Blue Earth, and Nicollet County. So thanks everyone. If there's any questions, I know we'll take them at this time.
Or Jessica, did you want to jump in for a second and provide a little bit of additional information quick?
Sure. So thank you. I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to wait until the end of the agenda and whatnot. I was on the call earlier and joined GoToMeeting now, but I just wanted to say thank you for including GMG on these calls every week and for the collaboration. You guys are doing a great job, and this is really valuable to have these. I just wanted to make sure, yesterday I was on a call with Mayo Clinic from the region, and they had some various chambers on those calls with Mayo staff, and they had some considerations for reopening plans. And I know Russ talked about this at the beginning of the call, but just re-emphasizing from their perspective of kind of best practices for businesses as they're considering you know, as they're making these plans and in taking the next phases for reopening if they're in that position. So really considering staff and employee education and really having a good communications plan as to why measures are being taken. They had kind of 4 keys. And so one of those was that educational piece and that communication piece, which is really important, as well as, you know, Russ alluded to the symptom screening, having some considerations there, as well as the safe social distancing and mitigation strategies, really outlining them particularly for, you know, what makes sense for your business. But then the good hygiene and utilization of PPE, they were just finding that a firm plan of how you're handling masks and just thinking about that ahead of time, you know, in advance has been helpful to them and how they're helping businesses through their occupational health services. So just wanted to throw that out there, that those are some of the key points that came from that Mayo call yesterday as different chamber officials were talking kind of more for the Southeast region. So thanks for your time. And again, thank you for coordinating this and allowing GMG to be part of the conversation.
Thanks, Jessica. Great to see you. Great to hear from you. Thank you very much. And your team's been doing great for us, that's for sure. As we wrap up, I have 2 or 3 things that I want to just kind of a little bit of housekeeping. But first, any questions for Jessica or any of the above topic items that we've missed? If you have something you want to post in the chat, that's great. And Russ is waving his hand, so that's my signal. He's got something else.
Yeah, I didn't mention that there are templates for that preparedness plan. I'm sure the chamber has one, and Deed has one on their website. So you don't have to, you know, rewrite the book, and you can pick and choose what you need out of that and what's appropriate and for your particular business. So
and I think we have a link on our COVID business page as well too. So if you need something, there's a bunch of different places. John, I saw your mic click on.
I was just going to say the blog post that I put in there has a link in it to another blog post. Like you guys are saying, there's lots of templates out there. If you're looking for something really specific to an industry, I'd recommend looking at the Department of Labor and Industry. Within those links, they have everything from bait shops to restaurants. Don't get those two mixed up, but there's a lot of different templates out there. The Minnesota Safety Council also has a robust list of different industry templates. So if you Google Minnesota Safety Council, you should be able to find something explicit for your need.
All right, John, thank you very much. Check those out. Marie, thanks for putting in the veteran service number in the chat box. We'll leave this open for a few minutes so people can catch some of that information off here if they want to do that. We can help you with your square footage calculation, or if you don't know how to get there, call Russ or Dean. We can help you a little bit with that. I think we're planning to meet again next week. Because there's the potential for some changes or some other business sectors to move on the dial, using that governor's dial a little bit. So if that happens, again, I think our plan is to continue to meet next week, same time, same go-to meeting address as well. Anything else I'm missing? Shannon put something on the chat, which is our connection for our COVID site on the city's website. So Shannon, Councilmember Noel, thanks for doing that. Anybody else got anything before we call it a morning on this meeting? Anything else? All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Stay positive, test negative. Have a great weekend. Thanks.